So yeah, we're just gonna update that real quick because there's some things I didn't talk about. Um, so before, if you looked at that video, if you were to go down to 13G on the video, I talked about, or I didn't talk about this thing called data Roma. So I just switched it over to my screeners because that's where it should be. Because if you click on it, not all of them are 13Gs. So if we go on data Roma real quick, this is pretty much a website that tracks super investor profiles. So if you go into super investors, these guys, their portfolio values are in like the billions. And this is where you'll find a whole bunch of like LTS stocks, because a lot of these firms, they hold these stocks for a very, very long time. They have high conviction. So it's just something that I actually use to keep track of. This is how I found that one ticker, KPLT. So Catapult Holdings, which is, I don't know if, I'm sure a lot of you guys heard about that stock when I talked about it a couple weeks ago. We made a nice 40% return on that stock, right? It jumped like 40% in one day, and it had nice short interest. It had a nice PCR OI. So you can find a whole bunch of stocks here. One that interesting to me right now is Peloton. We know that this stock was beaten down, and with the whole COVID thing, it's starting to be interesting here. So there's a whole bunch of stocks here. Most of the time, I'll look closer into stocks that I haven't recognized before. So for example, like ASPU or ASAN ED. I didn't look at all of this yet. But you can see like the total amount that they put in. So stocks that I don't even know about, I'll look into it. But I haven't looked at this in a while. So the website is called dataroma.com. And then another thing that I want to update you guys is, so I don't know if I talked about this, but this was Breakthrough Energy. So this is a whole bunch of companies. Let me just accept this real quick. So this is a whole bunch of companies that a bunch of like billionaires are investing in. I think, you have like Bill Gates, you have, I think, Jack Ma in it. So if we go back here, it's just a whole list of companies that they believe in the long term. So that's Breakthrough Energy. And then I don't think I talked about Market Watch as well. This is one that we talked about on stream quite a bit in the past. So it's just another little screener. It's not too different in comparison to all the other ones we talked about. You might find that the float shorted differs from things that we usually use, like Finviz, Fintel. So just keep that in mind. I know some of you guys have Ortex subscriptions as well. So just keep in mind that the float shorted, it really depends on a bunch of factors. So just keep in mind that just because, for example, it says 58.36% for CRTX, that's just an estimate, an educated estimate at least. So for example, if we were to go on Finviz and look at CRTX, whoops, forgot to turn off my caps. So on Finviz it says 39.52%, and then here it says 58.36%. So just keep in mind that it's going to be a range. And then the other thing, this one is new. This one's called Markov chained. Probably butchering that. But this tracks Reddit profiles of people. I haven't really looked into this in depth too much because I just found out about it. There's this guy, shout out to Trading Rust. So he talked about it here, and you can kind of track how the performance of Reddit people, just to see how they're doing. So then this guy is rank 1, Captain Wee, and it says that his average is like 86%. This guy's like 2000% across 3 positions. So I don't know how accurate this is because I tried to search myself up actually. So if I search myself, CAD dude for 42069. So here you can see that my average is about 282%. So I don't know how their algorithm works. But you know, they got prog right because I was one of the early ones on prog. I was the first one to write an actual DD on prog, and we made a really nice return on this. Right, we got this at around 80 cents. But the thing is, like, it didn't track all of my other positions that I was in, right? Because I post my Reddit DDs on DM Research, which is right here. I haven't posted a DD in a while, but you know, I've made one on ATER, I've made one on ANY, I've made one on SBTX, and then obviously I made one on prog, and then I made a whole bunch of other DDs on like the DSPAC stuff. So for example, I think it was SPIR, and I think it was OPAD. I think it was those. I made a DD on those. So just I think the last thing here that we got to talk about is Stocktwits. I didn't talk about this is something that I use quite often actually, but I use it on my phone. So I just edited it in here just for the video, but you can kind of see, you know, what people are talking about. So for example, trending tickers right now would be this shit right here. And then most active, you can do that. And then watchers, what people are putting onto their watch list. But again, we actually track this stuff on Discord as well. Let me just open up the Discord real quick. Steve Bacon 1 says, yeah, OPAD and SPR made 50% on both thanks to you. That's awesome, man. Congrats. I'm happy that you guys are making some gains. But also, guys, on Discord, you can see here we have a Stocktwits bot. So you don't even need the app for Stocktwits. We have everything here laid out for you guys so that you can see everything. And shout out to, I think, Felire, who set this up for us. He's one of the moderators on Discord. So yeah, and then I think that might be it. Oh yeah, one thing I also want to talk about is I use SEC filings, so I use SEC Edgar. I wish there was a way I can, you know, put it into my search center thing, but it's hard because when you search up something, for example, like I'll just do AAPL. It depends on this like CIK number, and like I don't know if there's a way to automate that, but usually SEC filings is, you know, sometimes it's going to be the first thing I look at or the last thing I look at. Usually it'll be, you know, if the stock is running up crazy, I want to see if there's like an S3 filing or some shit like that, you know, because I am afraid of dilution, especially with these penny stocks, right? These penny stocks, you get really good returns, but if you don't get out at the right time, or even at that wrong time, you'll get hit with a massive dilution, and you'll lose a bunch of unrealized gains, or you might even go into the red. Paper Naya asks, can you please show your search center once again? So search center thing, for example, I'll just close these tabs real quick. So for search center, if we type up a ticker, so for example, I'll put Tesla, and then if I press this all, it opens a whole bunch of tabs for everything. So we can go FinViz, you can go to bar chart, you know, FTDs for Stocksera, iBorrowDesk. There's a whole bunch of tabs here. That's just related to the stock Tesla. But I go more in depth on this if you go on my YouTube channel. I actually made a video about it. I think this is my first video on it, which is this one right here, how I do quick stock research. So that's, you know, that's how I do things. But yeah, I think that's all for the update. I'll continue updating this as I go on.